You're in the Global Matrix Readers Theater, and it's an open session. And today I'm very pleased to have a friend of mine from India.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭೈರವೇಶ್ವರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಪ್ಪು ಬಾಟ್ಲು ಪೆನ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ.
Okay. And I am pleased to be with a friend of mine from India. It's interesting. We had the opportunity to actually meet and work together for a week in India about 2 years ago. And although we've known each other about 4 or 5 years. And what was wonderful about it was where we were didn't happen. And a lot of complications happened. And if it wasn't for Vahid and another man that was brought in who saved me and got me out of the situation, it was, and throughout the whole time, as Vahid was trying to calm me down because I was in a panic, he would tell me, someday I'm going to publish a book of poetry. Someday I'm going to be a famous poet. And he would start reciting some of his poems. He would sing songs to me, and it would help. And then after what, a year or so, I got a Skype message when he came and he shared with me his newborn son. And so now we sort of have a combination of the fact that he now has a son and his newly published book called My Son and Other Things. I'm so thrilled to be able to bring him in, take some of his poems, put them into a GMRT format, and be able to share them all with you. So Vahid, how about just introducing yourself briefly, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to do GMRT today.
Okay, thank you so much, Tracy, for inviting me to GMRT. As we have been connected to different things, and especially NGGE and metrics of learner. Now it has new format, especially about the readers from all over the world, and improving the reading skills, which is actually the requirement of the time. So there is just a little bit about myself. I'm from India. I'm a teacher, basically, who has worked on the different positions. And I did some of the research in English learning and teaching methodologies. I run my organization for online coaching called English Zone. Also a poet. I have been writing for more than 20 years, but during lockdown, I got an opportunity to compile things and make them available for everyone. And we are in here. It has come out as an amazing book. I'm getting good response from the readers. They're enjoying it, and the best part is everybody has a different favorite poem. So I'm just overwhelmed with this all things, and it's been just a month, not more than a month still. Like when the ebook has published, it's like few days. Before that, my hard copy was published, and during this lesser than 2 months, the things are getting more exciting for me as being a poet. And now I have always wished that thing since when I started writing. Everybody has the dream, and my dream was to be a published writer. Okay, I never wanted to be a millionaire or billionaire. That is on the second level, but this one was the dream that it has come true now. So this is it over here. Thank you so much. I can't hear you, Tracy. Your voice is not coming in.
I have to remember to unmute. I'm sorry. It was interesting and fun for me to see, because having spent that time with you all in India, listening to you talk about your dreams and your passions and what you wanted to do, And then on the other side, the flip side, the responsibility as a husband in trying to take care of the family. That was before son, of course, you know, and those pressures. And it came out, it's nice to me because it comes out in some of your poetry, some of the things that we talked about that underline it, which is kind of interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 of his poems. Vahid and I picked out 4 short poems from his book. So we're going to read one poem and then have an opportunity to talk about that poem and what it might have meant, how you feel about it, or your interpretation. And then we will stop that poem and go read a second poem. Now we have enough people so that you can take turns reading. The first poem has 5 parts to it, 5 readers. So I need to have 5 people offer to read this poem. I have 5 people who will do that for me. I know that Krista can't. Hector, are you going to read for me?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, will you just be a 1? Just be 1. Divya, will you read for me?
Yes, sure.
Okay, be a 2.
Yes.
Rami, are you interested in reading today? Okay. You have to unmute. About DGKF. I don't know what that is for a name. Is anybody? I'm looking for other people who are willing to read.
Not possible for me, actually.
Okay. Anybody else? Janet, can you read? Sure. I'll do your 3. I'll do 4. HK, can you read? You usually don't have this much trouble getting readers. Yeah, you have to unmute. Shah, can you unmute? Are you willing to read?
Yeah,
You're willing to read?
yeah.
Number 5.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to share my screen now. And the first story that you chose to read is called Old Picture in the Frame. And as you can see, oops, there's 6 readers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have to have somebody be a 6th reader too. Divya, do you want to try 2 parts for me?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I have the second one, and you want me to read the 6th one also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm number 4, I think. All right. So those people who are reading are going to want to be unmute or know how to unmute when we start. And we're going to begin the first poem, Old Picture in the Frame. Reader 1.
That old picture in the broken frame. I know the person, but forgot the name.
The eyes have the same spark and still have a raised head. Passion in the eyes kill the dark. Got the vision for the future ahead.
Hard work, it seemed, on the cloth stuff. Not a quitter, but a fighter must.
Brows show the will is so strong. While the presence is there, nothing can ever go wrong.
Number 5.
Look like the same person, neither new or not old version.
Somehow, we both look just as same. That old picture in the broken frame. I know the person, but forgot the name.
I wonder, do you want to read this one more time now that we've got the flow of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, yes,
We get it?
please.
So let's read it one more time. Is that all right, Vahid?
Yeah.
Old picture in the frame.
That old picture in the broken frame. I know the person, but I forgot the name.
The eyes have the same spark and still have a raised head. Passion in the eyes kill the dark. Got the vision for future ahead.
Hard work it's seen on the cloth dust. Not a quitter, but a fighter must.
Brows show the will is so strong. While the presence is there, nothing can ever go wrong.
Look like the same person, neither new or not old version.
Somehow, we both look just as same. That old picture in the broken frame. I know the person, but forgot the name.
So what are your thoughts? Nice job. What are your thoughts? You think about the poem, what did it bring to mind to you? What would you like to share?
It's like I'm thinking of a person who's there in a frame, in a photo frame, and it's relating me to all the old memories, time spent, the good times and the bad times all spent together. And looking forward to hear from you.
Anybody else like to share their thoughts?
When I was reading this poem, I don't know what Wahid was thinking when he was writing, but when I first read it, I felt that, it's probably he's looking at his grandfather or some ancestor. And then in the second reading, I thought that he's probably looking at his younger self. So I'm confused. I was just trying to, the second reading, I was just trying to sort it in my head, whether it is like an ancestor or the younger self. So I don't know.
Well, what's nice about poetry is that it's your interpretation. You don't necessarily have to worry about what was he thinking and planning when he wrote it, but what do the words that he used speak to you. So anybody else want to share a little bit about what they shared? How they felt?
Can I say something? Although I wasn't reading it,
Well,
I joined a bit late.
Matter, Georgia. We always know that listening is as important as the reading.
True. Well, for me, it's a sad poem. There is a person in the frame, probably is old now, or probably doesn't exist anymore. And well, this person didn't change because the poet, from their eyes, understood that the spark is there and the will is there, although now he or she is old. But on the other hand, well, it's time that brought this person to another situation that is older and weaker, maybe. So maybe he wrote the poem because he misses this person, or maybe he wrote the poem as a projection of his future self. Anyway, for me, it is a beautiful poem, although sad, but it's life. This is how it is. People don't change.
Anybody else? Okay, Krista is saying nice metaphor and a bit epic. I think the poet transferred a courageous image of himself through time. So Vahid, would you like to just share for a minute?
Yeah,
Going
sure.
through your head when you wrote this particular.
It's the first time for me that when I am being with the readers, those who are reading and they are analyzing the things, what I was thinking in my head. Okay. The first technical part I would like to share. It's not the technical actually, but we have just a minute. I forgot the name. This is I have the problem. Okay, we have Divya. Yeah, Divya said grandfather. Okay, so I wanted to break. I want to make break that myth. Whenever we imagine, sometimes not all the time, we imagine a male in the frame. This poem is a gender-free poem. I have not mentioned there is a he or she. Okay, so it is intentionally written in that way. I wanted, sometimes people talk about feminism or masculine side, or we are feminists, so we write about female and all that. But I believe in gender equality like this. Okay, whenever you create something, you must not give the idea. In this poem, I didn't want this idea to be clear that there is a male only. That frame, that clothes can be of anybody, grandmother, grandfather, yourself, your older self, or one more view is it. This frame can be of a mirror also.
Can be a mirror. Okay.
Yes, a mirror. You're looking at yourself in the mirror, in the frame. It also looks like a picture. So there are multiple dimensions of this poem, and I'm really happy that everybody is looking at it in a different way. And yes, I have used some of the rhyming, but some of them are the partial rhyming. So it has the Indian origin of my poetry that is based on the Indian two type of poems, basically ghazal and nazam, which I generally create, and it's having that touch also. Okay, so thank you so much.
Wonderful. Does anybody else want to say something? I don't know if as you were reading it, if you had imagined looking at this picture frame and someone in that picture frame. Were most of you thinking of a person? May not have been a person. What picture did you put in your imagination as you were reading it? And was it a male? Ah, Chris said, I thought it was a mirror. Okay, nice, nice.